welcome to the Princess Eternity Talk Show, episode 6. I am your host, Eternity, and today we are going to be doing another segment of late night laughs here with Eternity. And I'm filming this pretty late because I've been procrastinating on this particular idea, this particular topic for a long time. But basically today we are going to be diving into the world of Hinge. I told myself that I was done with online dating. I think that the apps are just a waste of time if you want something serious. And I think even with like wanting hookups, like there's just a lot of downsides to online dating. I can see how it can be convenient, for example, people who might have mobility or disability issues, and such. I also feel like there's just a lot of cons with it, and I'm going to be talking about that. And this is not to discourage online dating. I mean, again, I can see its benefits, especially if you don't really have time to commit, or again, like you're just seeking something, very casual. But I feel like there's just a lot of flaws with it, and I feel like I just feel like this segment, we're going to debunk them. And I'm going to be basically sharing, what I see on my end and showing you why it's just online dating is just not it. Okay. But before we dive in, make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. It is the only social media that I really use. And you guys can see that I post singing content, dancing, and even commentary stuff. So if you guys like that stuff, you can check out my TikTok page. And I also do have a Substack, so I post short stories there. I am actually currently writing a book, so that will be for the future, hopefully be published this year. That is one of my goals, one of my resolutions, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so just my Substack and my TikTok for more content with Eternity. And without further ado, we're just gonna dive right into this dumpster fire of Hinge. So, the carnage of the modern dating world, and you can kind of get a good sneak peek of that on Hinge, or just any online dating specifically. I mean, like, again, Bumble, Tinder, like those are like the big threes, like the most popular ones, and they're all equally as bad. But I've never really used Tinder, honestly, because I remember like my friends, like when they would like go on the app and we would like look at it, we would find so many people that we knew, and I just didn't like the idea of like someone knowing like that I'm on the app. I didn't like that feeling, so I did never try Tinder. And then Bumble also, I think they thought that they were being cute with making it like the woman gets to talk first, as if like the woman gets to initiate. But Bumble, I think, is probably worse. Like, there's been a lot of incidents of predatorial men on that app, harming and even assaulting, or even like unaliving women on dates. And there's just not a lot of protocols and safety to protect women, especially since it's a lot of young women, as I've mentioned in one of my videos, that are on the dating app. Like, there's no like safety precautions. It's just very like blasé-faire, and they don't really do like any like significant background checks. So there's also that idea that you're probably mingling with predators and you don't even fucking know. And I mean, that happens in real life too, but I'm saying like online, like it's easier to lie and put up a front and all that stuff. So I just feel like the safety aspect definitely also ruins it. I think meeting someone online that you want to be intimate with just sounds like a recipe for disaster. Like, I'd rather meet that person face to face. Like, I need to read the room like right off the bat. Like, I need to read that energy right away. And it just feels like very inauthentic and forced, and I feel like it puts too much emphasis on like texting. And I know that a lot of people just genuinely don't like texting, and I'm the same way. Like, I genuinely find texting to be such a like useless thing. I understand for like quick little updates and stuff like that, but as like a main form of communication, I think that it's the worst one. I am more of a like phone call, FaceTime person, like if I'm getting to know them for the first time. And then ultimately, like in person is the best as always. My laptop keeps turning off because I have my notes there. But yeah, there's just, again, like the elements that I've been mentioning, a lot of them are the reason why I personally find online dating just to turn off. I think that a lot of people are also not intentional and honest about what they want. Like they're seeking people that they're incompatible with. And there's this idea that there's just an endless amount of options that you can choose. And it kind of just makes it feel like everything is like, it's like fast food kind of thing. Like it's like fast food, but like dating edition. You know, you're just swiping through all these endless pages and it's like, it doesn't feel like they're real people, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't feel like that. But I feel like those are like the main pointers that I wanted to bring up when it comes to kind of like the downside of online dating. I think that, again, it has more downsides than ups. And again, especially if you're looking for something serious and you have like high standards, like it's not gonna work. Okay. I feel like for me, like if I'm willing and open to find a good partner, like I'm not going to settle and I'm not going to, you know, change my boundaries and my standards. And if you can meet them, great, you're in. And if you can't, well, you're cut from the program and that's it. Aww. Okay, simple as that. There's no if, buts, or maybes. Like there's no debating. Like, yeah, I run a tight ship. Unfortunately, when I get in a relationship, I'm kind of like a drill sergeant. So it's kind of like, you know, just do as I say. And, you know, that's literally it. Just follow instructions. You know, I'm the lieutenant. If I give you instructions, you have to do it. Imagine your commander tells you to drop and give 20 and you can only give 7. Like, of course you're going to get cut. Like, hello, it's the same thing, okay? Some say it's a dictatorship. I say it's just structure. I mean, some programs are not as strict as others and, you know, you just got to find the one that works for you. So we are going to go through the list of things that I have noticed on dating apps, pattern-wise, specifically on Hinge, that bother me. Okay, this is just me specifically. I told y'all I'm picky. Also, warning, I'm kind of an asshole. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very much gonna, you know, be very brutal and judgmental. Okay, so if you can't handle that, don't listen to this, okay? I'm just gonna be very like honest and straight to the point because these are my critiques, okay? The first one is smoking or drinking videos. This is such an ick. Like, even if like I don't care necessarily that someone drinks and smoke, okay? I mean, obviously if it's like every single day, then yeah, that's a problem. But like if you do it once in a while, recreationally, socially, whatever, that's cool. But if you post that on your Hinge, okay, you have like, on Hinge, I know you have room for like 6 pictures and videos all together. So that's the one that you chose. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the videos, like you want to put your best foot forward, right? Like you're putting your best self and you decide to put a smoking and drinking video, like that's automatically a turnoff because like I have to base my information off of what you give me, and what I've been given is smoking and drinking. Like that's not a personality trait, and that's not something that we want to see, okay? We don't need to see that. You can save that for your Snapchat story if you still fucking use Snapchat, like you're 13 or something. Like, I don't know. To me, it just kind of feels like sometimes they're posting these pictures and these videos like this is like a group chat with their homeboys and they're gonna see this. Like, you know, like I feel like if I was a man, like, and I was making a Hinge profile picture, like I would want to make sure my pictures are like as, you know, top tier and yeah, like they're like fun pictures and whatever. But like I don't think I would put a clubbing or smoking, drinking video because I could tell like that's a fucking weird thing to do. Even if I did it, like it's not something that needs to be posted on Hinge. That's for your story. Okay, that's for your Instagram. Okay. Another one that I've seen a lot is like men having pictures with other women. Again, it gives off the same energy that like you're posting for your homeboys. You don't realize like the women that are going to come across those pictures are going to be like, why are you having a picture where you're hugging 3 different girls. Like, do you know how women's brains work? Like, they're gonna be like, no, you look like a player, you look like a hoe. Why are you putting up pictures of you being a hoe? I don't care what the context is. I don't care if they're your friends. I don't care if they're your cousins or sisters. There's no need. Like, the profile is about you. It's not about you and your friends and your family and whoop de woo. Like, no. Next one. This one is probably the most annoying, and it's such a small thing, but it's so weird. The whole pineapple on pizza. I don't know why these men are copy pasting this fucking topic about pineapple on pizza. Like, you guys all have the same personality. It's absolutely absurd. Nobody gives a fuck if you put pineapple on pizza or not. It's not that big of a deal. You're not special because you like to put pineapple on your pizza, and you're not special because you don't like to put pineapple on your pizza. It's just a fucking pizza. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's not worth having a debate over. Who gives a shit? If you want to eat pineapple on your pizza, go right ahead. And if you think that's the most disgusting thing on earth, which I do, because why would you put fruit on pizza? That's okay. But I genuinely don't care. And it's not a thought out well or even funny. Like, it's just like, I call it like boy humor. Like, another point, and a lot of the Hinge prompts come off as like boy humor, and it's just like, it's not funny. Like, you think you're funny, but it's not funny. And I can tell that you're the one who was behind that. Okay. It's just. So the next one, this one I've kind of picked up on recently, but I've noticed sometimes there are prompts that are written out really well, that it either sounds like you asked ChatGPT to do it for you, or it sounds like something a woman would say. Like, specific terms that are things that women would say towards each other, or like references that like only women would understand. And they kind of come across as just like on the other side of like pandering. Like, you're trying to seem like, oh, like I know girls and I understand girls, and I'm just like, I don't know, it just feels very performative. And that's just me. Again, some girls might like that and they might see that and be like, oh, that's so cute, but I just see it as performative. Like, I feel like you're trying too hard. And that's the other side. There's like the super low effort where it's like, you didn't even put any thought into this. And then there's the ones where it's like, did you get this from ChatGPT? This sounds like a woman did this profile for you. Okay, she did all the prompts for you. So another one, this one is again just personal, but a lot of emojis for some reason, like, cut it out. Like, there's no need for emoji. One emoji is fine, but like when there's like a bunch of emojis, I just feel like it's just, I'm not gonna say childish, because I love to text with like emojis. Like, I use emojis all the time, but I don't know why if I see it on a Hinge profile, I'm just like, no, save the emojis for the texting, okay? Not on the profile. I just feel like it just comes off, I don't know why, but it gives off like childish, even if it's not. Like, that's just how I see it. Another one, putting your social media handle on your Hinge. Absolutely not. And if anything, I'm probably gonna go look at your Instagram and see what we're dealing with. And I'm gonna check your followers and check who you're following. And usually I get the ick looking at a man's Instagram, because I don't know why. I don't think men should have Instagram. That's my radical opinion of the year, that men should not have Instagram and be taking pictures. Like, that's a girl thing. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, it's just, Instagram just is a girl thing. And I just feel like a man having an Instagram just screams thought. So a lot of the times they just want to have like a lot of, different women that they're following, that they can DM all the time. And the whole point is to match with you on Hinge and have that conversation. And then if you want to exchange handles after that, like, go ahead. But, it just feels like, again, like, it's just like, why would I go on your Instagram and follow you? Like, for what? Like, you want followers and you're going to go on Hinge to get them? Like, that's kind of pathetic. So, yeah, don't put your social media on Hinge. Like, just, match with whoever you match, and then again, if you want to exchange social medias, then that makes sense. Okay, so this one is on 100% valid, but grammar errors, like really big grammar errors, like grammar errors that could have been fixed if you just read this sentence. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to forget like a comma, or you know, like maybe you have a run-on sentence. Okay. But like when you misspelled a word and like it looks misspelled, like not just like a 1 or 2 letter switch, like the entire word is misspelled. Like we have punctuation issues. Like the grammar is just horrendous. Like it is definitely gonna get you a left, because if you can't even take 2 seconds to read whatever thoughts you've put together, like, and you can't, you know, write any correct sentences, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Okay, I know a lot of people are talking about the literacy crisis and how a lot of people just don't understand like words and grammar and punctuation, and you know, they don't care about their spelling mistakes, or at least looking over at their spelling mistakes. Like when I make a spelling mistake, like I fix it right away, because that's not how you write it. That's not how you do it. But when I see a spelling mistake, I just think careless, and I'm not interested. Okay, so this one honestly is kind of weird, but also very valid, is men who have videos and pictures with lots of filters. Maybe like trying to catfish, like trying to come off like looking a certain type of way. We all edit our pictures to make them look as nice as possible, and you know, all that stuff. But again, like using heavy filters, like it's obviously very clear that you put like a huge filter and you put that exposure all the way fucking up. Okay, and it looks off. Like I just think it's weird. It just shows untrustworthiness if you're putting heavy filters. I think doesn't matter, this is for both genders. Like if you're heavily editing your photos, like you're lying, you're catfishing. Don't do that, please. And then the last one that I had was also kind of similar to my last point, but posting memes, like, I don't know what, but again, it just feels like performative, and I don't get it. This is coming from someone who loves memes, and I love a good laugh, but I don't know, it just, again, it screams, like a lot of the memes that I've seen at least are not even funny. It's again like very boy humor, and I'm just like, this is what you guys find funny? Like, okay, sure. My last one, again, is a lot of men using the word bitches on Hinge. That's absolutely unacceptable. That's an automatic swipe left. Like, I don't understand any man who's comfortable with referring to women as bitches. That is a slur, okay? And any man that even uses that word, like, we have zero chance. Like, that word should not be in your vocabulary. To me, it's the same thing as, like, a white person saying the N-word. And I know some people might think that's a little bit dramatic. No, it's not. That's my other radical take of the day. So now that we have gone through all of the things that I see personally for me on a profile that automatically turns me off, okay? Now we are going to dive into some of the things that I have seen, just to kind of give you a glimpse of the carnage that I'm talking about. The diabolical things that I see, okay, that I just don't got time for, okay? We don't got time for this. That's what I'm saying. So the first one, dating me is like dating a nerd who goes to therapy, but is also a gym bro, ... and knows how to socialize. Space. I'm also extremely chalant. This comes off as pandering to me, because I think I know like the target audience of women that he's trying to attract with this, and I don't know why, but I don't believe it. Maybe it's me and I'm just a pessimistic asshole, and you know what? Fair. It's funny because that's literally my type, basically, but I don't know, it just kind of came off as forced. Like, it didn't feel authentic. It felt like something that he wrote because he knew a certain group of women would really like that. So that's what I meant by kind of like specific word choicing that, you know, women would really like to hear, but it just doesn't come off as genuine. And again, I can't read your intentions from a screen, but that's how I'm interpreting it. So yeah. This one is probably the least worst, though, I would say. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with this. This is just my personal perspective. So the next one that I saw, when I saw this, I'm not gonna show the picture because I'm trying to be respectful. Aww. It was a picture of a man taking a selfie like a woman, like taking a selfie like, you know how like with women, like we want to like show our butt and like we have like a mirror and like we do like that mirror selfie, exactly like that. Picture a woman doing that selfie, but it's a man doing it. And I saw that and I was flabbergasted. Why are you posing like a girl? And some people might say that's being, you know, judgmental, all that stuff. I don't really care. Like, I don't want to see your ass cheeks on fucking Hinge, okay? You want to post some thotty little pictures? That's what Instagram is for, sweetie. Okay, that's what Instagram is for. You can do that there. Not here. We're not doing that here. Okay? No, ma'am. Okay, another one. This is a specific kind of thing. It depends on the kind of person you are. But a lot of men talk about sports on Hinge. Like every other profile, there's always got to be something about sports. Netflix and chill. Netflix and watching sports. It's like you all do the same thing. Do you not have anything else to do besides watching sports? Honestly, for me, I probably wouldn't want to date someone that is obsessed with sports because I don't like sports and I don't want to be with someone that's obsessed with them. Like, I just think it's, I don't know, it's giving like Roman Empire medieval times. You know how they used to like watch gladiators fight and get eaten alive by lions? It's basically the same thing, just minus the lions and the sword and the killing. And shit, if sports maybe had lions, I think they'd be a little bit more interesting, but I just don't like sports. I have mad respect for athletes who, you know, train for something. Like, that takes time and dedication and an effort and lots of training that most people will probably not be able to do. But I don't like sports, and I would not want to be with someone who likes sports. So if you mention sports on your profile picture, I'm not the person, but I'm telling you, there are a lot of women out there who love sports, who love watching it, and that's your type. But me, no, I really don't care what your favorite team is. Aww. This one is another one that I would say kind of sounds a little bit pandery to, again, women who might be interested in social issues. Like, if you hear this, a life goal of mine, overthrowing imperialism and capitalism. I'm like, do you know what those two are? I mean, obviously I don't know, but I don't know. It just doesn't sound like something that you would have written. Like, it sounds like you wrote that because you know that there were some women who would probably hear that and be like, yes, like, absolutely. What does that even mean? Overthrowing imperialism and capitalism. What does that mean? What is the definition of imperialism? What is the definition of capitalism? That's what I would have said. If I was gonna match with him and be an asshole, that's what I said. I've been like, define imperialism. Define capitalism. What does overthrowing mean? What are the steps? Like, I would go into a detail. I'm not just gonna take your word for it. We're gonna be doing a whole course and seminar on that particular statement. What do you mean by that? Okay, as someone who is very passionate about social justice, as you can tell, like, if you're gonna make any sort of comment like that, I'm automatically going to critique it and see like if you actually know what you're talking about, or you're just saying that because you know it's what somebody might want to hear. Okay, like, I don't know. Again, I'm just being an asshole, but this is something that I would definitely question. Dating me is like adding bonus to your life. Double exclamation point. One thing you will know about men on Hinge is they speak very highly of themselves. A lot of them love the dating me is like prompt, and they will describe it as if they're like the best person on planet Earth. Like, they're God's gift to Earth. Like, dating me is like being in a romance movie. Dating me is like being on a roller coaster. Whoa. Like, no. And if it is a roller coaster, it's probably just lots of trauma and ups and downs, okay? That's what I hear when I hear dating me is like being on a roller coaster, okay? Being on a roller coaster, you're experiencing 10 different emotions in like 2 minutes. That sounds exhausting. I can already do that by myself. I don't need to be in a relationship that's going to mimic that too, okay? So for me, when I see like a prompt like that where a man is just describing dating him like it's like the best experience in the world, and that if you choose to swipe left, you're missing out on the greatest love of your life, that guy probably sounds like he's going to traumatize the shit out of you, okay? That does not sound promising, okay? So usually when I see somebody put a prompt like that and they're just like peacocking themselves, I'm like, yeah. You're hiding something, you're overcompensating for something, and I'm not here for it. Okay? I'm not. My greatest strength, OCD. Not you romanticizing mental health. He prompts about like men saying like, oh, I want a girl. I like girls that are slightly depressed or slightly autistic. Like you're fetishizing and romanticizing that mental illness, and anybody that has OCD, depression, anybody that has ADHD, anybody that is autistic knows, anybody neurodivergent, okay, knows that that particular ailment is literally affects their entire life. Like it affects the quality of their life. Every single area of their life is affected by this, okay? OCD is a debilitating mental illness, and you want to say my greatest strength is OCD. You don't have OCD. A random fact I love. Science. Science is not a random fact, you idiot. That is not a random fact. Science is a subject. It is a topic. You didn't give a random fact. You just said science. Like, you sound stupid, and I don't like stupidity. So, no. The way to win me over is acts of service. Acts of service. The way to win me over, that's what the sentence says, guys. Look, the way to win me over is acts of service. Why do you want a woman performing acts of services for you? You want a mommy? Is that what it is? Like, what are the acts of services that a woman is supposed to perform for you? And I don't want to hear anything about cooking or cleaning, because as soon as I hear the double C word of cooking and cleaning, I'm automatically done with the conversation. Because I don't know what's this obsession with performative labor in relationships. It is the dumbest thing ever. Okay, we're all adults. We all gotta cook and clean. But in a relationship, if you are not able to do that, you either pay someone to do it or you deal with that mess. Okay? Like, it's not somebody else's, a grown adult is gonna pick up after you. The fuck? Who do you think you are? That's what I interpret as acts of service. You want someone to do things for you. You want a woman to do things for you. I don't think so. I don't think so. I feel most supported when my mom calls. I don't know why, but again, any mention of mom, like I'm automatically out. Like I would rather talk to someone that like is not close with their mom and like is even no contact or just is not close to their family, because I feel like men that are super close with their moms, like I don't know what it is, but the odious complex is unbearably strong. Like it's so obvious and it just makes me uncomfortable. And when I see words like that, even if it's just innocent, like again, we don't need to know about your mom on Hinge, okay? Like, you love your mommy, great. You're 28. Unusual skills, more like usual skills, ... So this is what I mean by boy humor. Like, the prompt is literally asking you, hey, name unusual skills. This is not the time for you to be a comedian and make a dumb, again, boy humor joke, like more like usual skills. And why do they always add ... Like, when you add ... that means you're kind of like, I think about like when someone's like trying to trail off, like if you're insinuating something. So to me, I don't understand why there's 3 dots over here. Like, this prompt is dumb. Like, you really fumbled here. Like, this is stupidity on top of stupidity. Like, if you don't know your unusual skills, you didn't have to use that prompt, but instead you decided to use that prompt and write a stupid statement on it. The key to my heart is food. Aww. That's code for they want you to cook them their food, and that's how I interpret it, and I don't care. This is coming from someone who is a big foodie and loves food, even though I'm a very picky eater. But I don't understand men being obsessed with women's, labor and using that because they have some kind of mommy complex where they just want to turn the women that they're dating into their mothers to take care of them because that's what they've done their entire lives. And when you say food, I'm just automatically like, no. It's different if you say like going out to eat or whatever. When you say food, it's too vague, and I'm just going to think of the first thing, and I think you are probably someone who believes the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and that you have to make him food and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, fuck off. That's what I would say. Fuck off. The hallmark of a good relationship is communication, compromise, and mutual goals. Now, the reason why I put this one is because this one is also one that gets regurgitated a lot, and it's pretty funny because the word compromise being used. I don't believe that you should compromise in relationships. I think you should collaborate and find a solution that works for both of you. But compromise means that someone has to give up something in order for the other person to gain, and I don't believe in that. I'm not going to be a martyr in my own relationship. Okay? And I also don't want my partner to feel like that. When I think about compromise, I think like, let's say like your partner wants pizza 73 and you want KFC, okay? And let's say you guys had pizza 73 like 3 months ago, but then you've had KFC like 2 weeks ago. Maybe you're more willing to have pizza 73 this time because you're like, well, dang, we haven't had pizza in a long time. Like, let's switch it up. Or maybe you're both just down to eat the same thing again and you choose to have KFC, okay? One of you is willing to give up the other, but choosing to compromise on that is something small. Like, that you can always have the other food that you don't choose another time. But when it comes to like big stuff, I do not think you should compromise because there's always going to be one person who's doing it more, and that's how resentment starts, and then that's how the relationship gets fucked, okay? When you compromise. Communication also showing up is hilarious because men are not good at communicating their feelings. I think they think that they're straightforward, but they're actually not. And it's the reason why a lot of them will stay in relationships that they fucking hate, and they hate the woman, but because she's doing things for them or she's serving a need, whatever it is, they will keep her around, and they're not going to communicate their feelings whatsoever. A lot of them are very avoidant, and I guess for me, because I'm not going to chase anybody in a relationship. If you don't communicate something, okay? If you don't communicate the problem, I don't care. That's just being real. I don't care because you're not gonna bring it up, and I'm not gonna pull it out of you and search to the ends of earth for whatever is wrong. I'm not going to give you my interpretation of what I think your behavior is. If you want to act like a sourpuss and you want to hold in your feelings and throw a diva fit, like, go right ahead. You can do that on your own. I'm not going to entertain it. I'm going to keep doing me. And when you feel ready to, vocalize your emotions and communicate, then you shall do that. The reason why I put this is because a lot of the times, like, this is all a facade where men will say, again, the right words, but they're not able to uphold it. And a lot of them copy paste this exact wording or switch it up, like whatever the case is. And it's like, I don't see this happening in real time. You're just using words and making shit up. I told you guys I was a bitch. Okay? Don't be sad. I told y'all. My love language is creating a sacred space for you to take off your armor. Sparkly emoji, blue heart emoji. I don't know why, but I feel like a woman wrote this for you. because I don't know a man who would use the blue heart emoji. Maybe the red heart emoji, sure, but the blue heart emoji is very girl-coded, and the sparkle one as well. Like, that's a very girl-coded emojis. You know, that's a secret language. And for you to use that, it just sound, again, pandering vibes, right? And you know how I feel about emojis as well. Like, this sounds like an Instagram caption. I'm not here for it. Okay, thank you. The way to win me over is be really nice. Oh, sorry. The way to win me over is be really real. That's not proper. And nice. Like, okay. Like, first of all, the sentence just doesn't make any sense. You want to talk about being real and nice? I think when men use the word nice, it translates to they want you to be like a pushover and they want you to be easygoing. I think there's another prompt like that where it's like, I just want you to be easygoing. They want you to be nice and easygoing and gentle and soft, because to them, when you're in that state, you're like easier to fuck with kind of thing, right? When you're over accommodating and you're understanding and everything. And I always say that when a man says like XYZ, like to do the opposite. So if I saw that and a man said the way to win me over is to be real and nice, now I've got to be fake and I've got to be a cunt, because I'm going to be the complete opposite. Okay, I'm going to be the complete opposite. I'm going to be an emotional terrorist now. I'm gonna have to, because no, I'm not going to be real, and no, I'm not going to be nice. It is what it is. Another one decided to post a meme, okay? And it says, I don't like the idea of a woman matching my energy. I am the diva. Ew! Like, what is up with these men who want to be women so badly? Like, it's a serious illness. Like, what is going on? You are not a diva. Never have, never will be. The diva is a position for a woman only. Okay? And a lot of men probably also think like this. Like, they don't want you to match their energy, and I'm always recommend that. I always say exactly, do the opposite. If he does something that hurts you, you're supposed to do the same thing back to him. Actually, even do it worse, you know, because people need to experience the consequences of their action. And a lot of the times the reason why men don't also want you to match their energy is because it kind of forces them to understand empathy, which a lot of them don't. And by empathy, I mean, they're now forced to be put in your shoes, even though they don't understand the context of that, where they're experiencing the same pain that they caused you, but they're experiencing cognitive dissonance, so they're going to try to rationalize it and say and do all sorts of, you know, behaviors that definitely indicate someone projecting or someone that is, you know, forced to face their hypocrisy, and they don't like that. Again, the consequences of your action. That's why I always say you got to match people's energy, because a lot of people don't get that, right? They go around being mean and being vindictive towards other people, and other people turn the other cheek or forgive them, and they just continue that behavior. And I'm just like, no, one day you're gonna come across someone that is going to match your energy, or is gonna give it to you even worse, and it's going to fucking ruin you, as it should. Yeah, and then again, the pineapple on pizza thing, like, I took a screenshot to show you that, and this prompt comes up every single time. I just have the one picture, but I'm telling you, it's like every couple profiles, there's some guy talking about pineapple on pizza, as if it's the debate of the fucking century, to be or not to be. And it's really not that serious and not that important. Nobody cares what kind of pizza you eat, okay? Thank you. Let's put this conversation to rest. Another one that I don't like. I'm weirdly attracted to you. Like, kind of insinuating that, you know, like whoever's gonna come across is gonna be like, oh, like, that's cute. No, it's lazy. It's boring. And it doesn't make any sense. Typical Sunday. chill. No. I don't like the word chill, okay? I don't like the word chill in any context. Any person that has that in their vocabulary, I don't want to be dating you, because there's nothing chill. Like, what's chill? No. There's nothing chill here. I'm not a chill person. I'm not, laid back and easygoing and, it's going to be so easy peasy. Like I said, no. Okay, I am very militant, and that's never going to change. And again, when someone says the word chill in whatever context, like you saying your typical Sunday's chill, like what does that mean? Like, we're missing details, and that's what I mean. I'm forced to make up whatever interpretation I have, and it's obviously going to be on the negative side, because you are giving off this energy. Like, when people have like these one-worded answers, it comes off as like nonchalant as well, like just very like too cool to give you a full answer. So I'm just gonna say like I just chill. Like, are you 14? Like, come on. So fucking annoying. And another one where there will be prompts like this: worst idea I've ever had. Definitely you. A lot of prompts from men will be like very rude, where they'll be like saying stuff like, oh my God, like girls are like this, or all girls are like that, or this, that, or third. And it's like, you put the preference for straight, right? You're trying to attract women. Do you honestly think that putting a prompt where you're saying something rude is going to work in your favor, and then you wonder why you're not getting any matches? Like, most men like have these prompts, by the way, and they're wondering why it's drier than the Sahara Desert. Like, hello, these prompts are ass. You didn't put any thought into it. And like, what do you think a girl is gonna react to when she sees that prompt? Like, oh my God, like that's so funny. Maybe you have 2 brain cells in your bird brain and you think that everything is cute and funny. Yeah, again, this is another one. Like, this year I really want to KK. Like, you just put that there just because. And again, when I see that laziness and uneffort, and again, like, whether it's boy humor or trying to be nonchalant and cool, like, oh, I'm too lazy to come up with an answer, I'm just gonna put something like whatever. Like, again, it just makes you look like a loser. It makes you look lame. Like, you don't have no personality, you have no swagger, you have no style, you have no identity. Again, like, a Hinge profile, you're supposed to show at least a little bit of a glimpse of like your personality, and instead you do that. And again, you're confused as to why you're not getting any matches. Like, it boggles my mind. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. My most irrational fear: losing the key after I handcuff you. Ew. No. Okay. No sexual innuendos. That's the word, right? Innuendos. No sexual innuendos, okay? Like, anytime a man puts anything that is referring to something that could be naughty or sexual or rated, I'm automatically disinterested. Like, it's just such an ick. It's such an ick. And this just sounds like a threat. It sounds like, just very like aggressive for some reason. Like, not everybody wants to be handcuffed. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you assuming that every woman that's gonna come across is gonna be like, yes, I love to be handcuffed? Like, no. Some of us do not want to be restrained, okay? Like, I don't know. Again, just any sexual innuendos, don't bother. Another one that irked me: together we could go on the best first date we've ever had, ghost each other, then I spend a year yearning for you. The obsession with the one that got away, I genuinely do not get it. I will never understand it. When you meet someone, and I understand like having like moments that are brief, like you can have great moments with someone that's brief and then it ends there. That's different. But it's one thing to, have someone that you're actively pursuing, then you ghost them, but you can't stop thinking about them. I don't understand someone that actively ghosts someone that they're constantly spending their time thinking about. When you have a phone and you can reach out to them and say, hey, I like you. I really, 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 really like you. gives that energy of like this whole nonchalance thing. Like, I'm too prideful. I'm not going to tell you that I'm yearning for you and that I'm aching for you. So I'm just gonna ghost you and keep my feelings to myself, but just think about you. Like, is that supposed to sound romantic? Is that supposed to sound like, oh, that's so cute? Like, I can't. It's just stupidity. Here are the spelling mistakes. Here we go. Typical Sunday. Brunch of stuff. Oh. That was an easy error that you could have easily fixed. But no. You looked at that and said, good enough, and put it there. And even the prompt itself, it's asking you what a typical Sunday is. And you say, oh, I just do a bunch of stuff. Again, just very lazy. You're not putting in effort. Like, again, like you want someone to at least have that pull to get to know you. Like, give some details. A bunch of stuff, it just sounds like dismissive. Again, and it just sounds, you know, just like low effort. Like, you just don't care. Like, you're just doing this just because. Like, here, damn answer is what it gives. Like, that's the energy of a lot of these prompts. It's like nobody asked you to make an account. Like, if you're gonna answer these prompts, at least give like 2 good full sentences. I believe you have at least 100 characters to answer these prompts. And I've seen some profiles where like they, you know, do like a good, you know, paragraph at least, or like one, or not a paragraph, but like at least like 1 to 3 sentences. Like, it's not difficult. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter what you're seeking. Like, you know, it's not difficult to answer some simple questions and say a bunch of stuff. Like, oh, you're too cool to write a couple sentences? Okay. Well, then we're not gonna have a conversation, because it also gives this energy of, like, let's say you were going to match with this person and text, you'd probably get a lot of short, one-worded answers like this, right? Where, again, people don't want to show in effort. They don't want to participate and actually engage in conversation. And again, that's why, to me, texting is useless. Like, either we phone call or FaceTime, because that's when you can really kind of like vet somebody based off how they're having a conversation with you. Apparently, every man's love language is quality time and physical touch. Who would have thought the 2 easiest love languages to do, because it doesn't require that much effort on your part, okay? Now, quality time for me is my love language, but when I say quality time, I mean like thoroughly planned out dates, you know, on a regular, consistent basis, right? Where it's like we're doing something and then we take the time to, you know, get to know one another at the same time. Like, thoroughly thought of dates. I'm not talking about sitting on the couch, eating pizza, stuffing our face. It's like, and like, there's room for those kind of quality times when you're in the relationship and, you know, you've already established yourselves on top of that. But when you're dating, no, ma'am, that's not gonna cut it. It has to be thought of and very specific and very planned out. That's what I mean by quality time for me. And then my love language is also acts of services and receiving gifts, okay? Those 3, because it requires you to put in effort, okay? All of those 3, as I mentioned, is physical effort, physical proof that you are pursuing me and that you like me as a person, okay? Physical touch is, again, like, it just, when I see that as a woman, I'm thinking like, all these men are just fucking sex obsessed. They always want to touch you, and they're just touch starved, and they always want to put their hands on you. And it's like, no, physical touch is important, but I don't understand why it is all of men's like love language. Like, you will die if you do not have sex. Like, that is not true. And again, it just kind of shows a lot of, you know, patterns when it comes to how the patriarchy really sets, you know, heterosexual relationships, where the man is over prioritizing, you know, sex and intimacy and physical touch. And I think that the reason that is because a lot of boys did grow up touch starved, where like they stopped getting consoled and hugged at 5 years old, and, you know, they don't receive any affection, whether it is from their their parents or, you know, their siblings or even their peers, like, you know, they don't receive that same kind of like more tender lovingness, at least the physical. So a lot of them will say physical touch is their love language because, you know, they didn't receive a lot of that growing up. A lot of people, their love language is usually what they did not receive growing up. So when I see that, I'm like, it puts a lot of pressure on the woman to kind of be on the receiving end of all that physical intimacy, because you're not hugging or holding hands with your guy friends, you're not hugging your parents, and you're not receiving that affection in different ways, in platonic ways, because there's platonic affection. Like girls a lot of times like will hug each other or, you know, hold hands, even give kisses. Like girls, when we're close, we tend to be very like physically affectionate towards each other. And it is also more socially acceptable. Like I can, you know, acknowledge that. But again, I think with the physical touch aspect, because men kind of put all of that physical intimacy burden on their partners, because they're not going to receive that physical intimacy from anywhere else, right? Platonic specifically as well. So when I see that again, I'm like, okay, we're seeing where the issue lies. And it's not that the love languages are wrong, it's just that I know where it's coming from, and I'm just disinterested. Okay, I'm disinterested. Random fact I love is beautiful. Aww. What? Like this guy probably thought that he discovered a philosophical take that he needed to share with everyone, that love is beautiful. Wow. Like it reminds me of that TikTok of where like men will like discover things that like women have been experiencing since they were like 12 years old. Like they're gonna have realizations that we've already had like decades ago. And that's kind of what it's giving. It's like you're saying something that is inevitably just very obvious and you just kind of look stupid. A random fact I love is respect in all capitals. Respect is not a random fact. You're 35, okay? Saying a random fact that you love is respect. Like, you are a full-grown man, and this is the stupid shit that you do. On top of that, he says not political, which anytime you see not political, moderate, anything like that, it is secret code for conservative, okay? Anything that does not say downright liberal, I'm going to assume you're conservative. Like, I don't fucking care. And I always see as well, like anything with religion, I decline. Like, I don't do religious men whatsoever. So yeah, if I see the religion, I look at that part and then I look at the politics. Some people don't put it in there. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna ask anyways. So don't worry. You can't hide. You can't hide. If I'm interested, I'm going to find out the answer. Another common thing that I've seen is, again, answering. For some reason, they're all obsessed with the typical Sunday prompt. But some of them will literally just put ... for all the answers. Like they don't answer any of the prompts, they just put ... Like even worse than putting like something like a 1 word or like 3 words, like even worse, like you are so lazy and pathetic that you cannot come up with a simple sentence, not even 1 word. You just put 3 dots and you think that makes you interesting, that makes you cool, that makes you mysterious. No, it makes you a dumbass. That's what it makes you, okay? And when I see somebody that puts ... all over their prompts, I'm immediately disinterested, like automatically. This one, there we go. The one thing you should know about me is I sent 3,000 messages to ChatGPT in 2025. AI, that is also going to be another thing that I will be cutting you off for. Why are you sending 3,000 messages to ChatGPT? Do you know how much water you fucking wasted? Huh? Do you know how much damage you alone did to the environment with those 3,000 messages to ChatGPT? I absolutely cannot stand you and I do not want anything to do with you. I should have reported your profile. Why are you using fucking AI? And I bet they were stupid questions anyway. I bet you were using them to create paragraphs to send to whatever poor girl was entrapped by you. Like, really? We're not using ChatGPT. We're done with that. We're done with AI, okay? Ridiculous. Another one that I see a lot is men that say, like, don't hate me if I roast you. Like, I need somebody that I can roast. And to me, I don't understand why you would want to roast your partner. I understand with like friends because I feel like the dynamic is a little bit different. Even like roasting, I would say is a little bit far. Like, I think it's normal to tease, but there's like a level to it. Like, there's a level and there's a line that people can cross. And I think that when a man says like he wants to roast you, like he just wants to have an excuse to be verbally mean to you and get away with it and cover it up as a joke. If you say anything mean, I don't care how your tone is, I don't care what the situation is, I'm going to take it as such, and I am going to distance myself from you because I'm not going to tolerate a man being mean to me. You have to be tender and sweet and very like overly considerate of my emotions, because ain't no way that you think it's gonna be nice to roast. And I don't mean, maybe some people are like, yeah, like I don't mind a roast session, but honestly, I don't. Like roasting as in like just being mean to your partner and trying to cover it up as a joke, like we're not here for that. We're not doing that. No. Another one that gets me really is when people will say long-term relationship open to short-term relationship open to long kind of stuff. You can't pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I hear that as like code for situationship, but also situationships are for people who are like under like 22. Okay? 23 if I'm being a little gracious, but like after that, like you should not be having situationships. It's either like a straight up hunch and dip type of situation where it's like it's just for sex, or be in a relationship. Like if you have the set parameters, and especially like if it's like a hit and miss kind of thing, I feel like there should be kind of like a deadline, because you don't want it to cross over the situationship quarters. Situationships is for emotionally unavailable people who want to find a selfish way to get their needs met. Being honest, okay? In those cases, a lot of times you will find that men will try to force a situationship upon you by trying to do things that you would normally do with someone that you're more closer with, not just on a physical level, but they kind of want to have the benefits of the relationship, of you doing that emotional and physical labor without actually putting a label on it. Okay, that's why when you're doing hookups, you still have to have standards and boundaries. And they're gonna try to break those boundaries and try to, change your mind. But it's all a game. It's not because they want a relationship. It's because their ego is hurt that you are not, just goo goo gaga over them after sleeping with them, because they think they were gifted with the magic dick from heaven and that every woman that sleeps with them is supposed to fall in love with them. And that's not the case. Okay? That's not the case. And then the last one is, again, another man discovering something that everybody already fucking knows. My therapy recently taught me that feeling your emotions isn't weakness. It's actually the start of strength. Like, whoa, you really discovered something. Like, are we serious? Mind you, this was on the profile of someone who was 35 years old. You have this realization, because it says recently, so I'm going to assume you've had this realization that, wow, showing your emotions is actually not a bad thing. Are we fucking serious? Are we serious? Wow. Honestly, online dating is and has always been a hot mess. And again, I understand why people do it. I can see the appeal and I can see how it's convenient, but I also see a lot of the damages, and I think that it also affects dating in real life. And a lot of people feel like they have to use apps in order to find people, and I absolutely do not think that's true. I genuinely would not want to find somebody online, and I know it happens to some people, and yippee-ki-yay for you, but you know, you're kind of like the exception. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the exception. And I just don't see myself dating online ever. Like, if I'm going to date, I'm going to have to do it in person. So hopefully this video was entertaining at least and can help you navigate dating, whether it's online or offline, in a better, safer, and more productive, strategic way, okay? And wishing the best to all the single girlies that are actively looking. I know some people are not, and you know, that's okay. Like, you're just chilling. But yeah, this episode is very on brand with February and, you know, love, celebrating all kinds of love. I do love Valentine's Day, and it's also my birthday soon, so very excited about that. Also, kind of nervous. I'm gonna be turning 25. Oh, crazy, I know. But yes, we shall. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Late Night Laughs, and I will see you guys on the next episode.